Hello everybody and welcome back to Planet Coaster 2, welcome back to Silver Sands, and a very special welcome to my good buddy Fog, who is joining us here today. Welcome, Fog.
Hello everybody, and hello Mineral.
Hello.
I believe this is one of the first times we've properly spoken after speaking via text for goodness knows how long.
Yeah, it has been years. I was thinking about this the other day, because you used to stream Planet Coaster back in I want to say it was 2017 you were streaming Planet Coaster.
Yeah, it's a good little while ago, to be honest.
And I used to hang out in your streams, and I can't even remember what you were building.
You know, neither can I, to be honest. It was good fun.
I was unemployed at the time, much like I am now, and it was good times.
They were good streams right there, and I've been trying to get back into that again. It's still sporadic as it goes, but you know, whenever it's fun, that's the main thing.
Yeah, well, I always enjoy a good Fog stream. You have this canny ability to just make funny things happen in the game, which are very entertaining on a stream.
I think it helps when there's a bit of a spectacle. Like, I don't usually do silly things on my own for my own enjoyment, but definitely when there's an audience, I might.
I'm thinking at the moment specifically of the those little tiki heads that you had with the sunglasses and the hats on.
Yes.
And then you sent them around the little lazy river. It was very amusing.
Occasionally passing through, and the fun part about that is I think that fingerprint has probably been left on Silver Sands. Very occasionally there's going to be a vehicle that flies past here and there, so
yeah, hopefully we'll see it come by at some point soon. And that does bring us very nicely to why you're here today, which is because I gave you the park file and you've been cooking up some awesome stuff.
Yeah, so it kind of just started in DMs of like, hey, do you need anything for Silver Sands? Because I've been watching and, you know, getting a little bit of Project Envy for a little bit. Like, I love what you're doing with this park. And showed up in my car and ended up building Cactus Land.
Yeah, so you came to me and said, do you want anything for outside the park? And one of the main things I've been thinking about since the beginning was this idea of this sort of world's largest, you know, X, whatever, something massive, because you see these all the time, and especially in America, these kind of gigantified common objects by the side of the road as kind of a bit of a tourist trap. So I told you that, and then you basically came back with several very good ideas.
I think we workshopped a few just to kind of what would be something relatively silly or interesting enough for you to pull over, and playing on the desert theme, cactus kind of reigned supreme, and looking into the tallest cactus definitely kind of gave the idea of making something artificial and wonderful like this.
Yeah. So is there actually a world's largest cactus in real life? Did you look into that one, or is this...
So there was a largest cactus that was, I think, about 46 meters. Feel free to fact check that in editing, but...
I won't, don't worry.
I preempted that and then built this structure taller than that, just so that they could kind of ebb it out by a few feet.
Yeah, nice. It does look excellent from the road here.
I'm really happy with how it's come out. It's I think the majority of it is art shapes for how it has been put together, and art shapes, I know a few people have been talking about texture lately, and the texture of this and the artificial look to it, almost a plastic metal combination, it just works really well to kind of catch your eye and look out of place.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those cases where I'm tempted to go up but I don't want to show too much, but yeah. And then, what is it? It's gutters, isn't it? These little bits in here.
Yeah, these were gutter pieces. Yeah. And it was a case of getting that cactus right first, and then off the back of that, thinking, okay, well, you're going to need a bit of space around it. That space is going to justify the means of why this is here. And it kind of continued into a bit more of a tour of the cactuses that we have in game, and some of the plant life that you would see in this area, and also arid climates, which kind of gives a bit more of a reason to pull over and take a look at the artificial and the real.
It's not just a big cactus. There is actually a nice little garden. But before we go and look at that, I'm just going to point out this. I love this. This is really simple, but just this like sign on the wall here with the kind of you're using the decals and this very kind of subtle terrain work here to make it look like the sand's all kind of piling up against the bottom of the wall.
Yeah, definitely. In Planet Coaster, things can be too perfect, like fences that are just perfectly lined up. It's not as real. Like, imperfection is realism sometimes.
Yeah.
So you can kind of indicate how long something's been there, or this kind of slightly rough and pre-existing space that is not perfect.
Yeah.
And the people aren't exactly perfect either. There's someone offering discount entry.
I was going to say, this is our first true kind of certified fog moment here, where we've got this little scene happening where there's a guy offering $5 to hop the fence with this little ladder here.
It's all about just kind of applying your own fingerprints, and a lot of people know my fingerprints to be humour, so
yeah, well, I love it. So I guess we can get into this this pavement in a minute, because this is all around the whole area, and that's also just another thing that's deceptive. It looks just like, oh yeah, he's just laid some pavement down, but
we'll establish that. Yeah, that I do things creatively wrong sometimes.
Yeah, you're kind of known for doing. Did you coin the term trackitecture, or is that something that you got from somewhere else?
Trackitecture, I believe, originated from Roller Coaster Tycoon, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, but they didn't have as much scenery pieces, so they started using wooden coasters for roofs and verandas and various kind of extra scenery. So off the back of that, I just kind of took that and ran with it. We've definitely got a lot more track to play with, and a lot more textures. So
absolutely. So we've got this little kind of car park area which is leading up to the are we going to call this a gift shop?
By all means, it's a tourist trap.
Yeah, it's a tourist trap. So we've got this gift shop, and first great little detail here is obviously these metal bars that you've got covering the windows, which really adds to the jank factor.
Yeah, these were inspired by a pre-existing gift shop in the Palm Springs area. I think, it just adds a bit more kind of visual detail, a bit more storytelling to kind of say, this is remote enough. Not everyone is going to be here all the time, so you're going to have some physical deterrence.
Bit of security makes sense.
Yep, keep all of the high-value items in, unless they're going out being paid for.
Yeah, all the very high-value cactus-themed merchandise. And then obviously on this side we've got the little we've got the little catchphrase.
Yep, I had to kind of I checked with you whether this was the direction that you wanted to go, but yep, another fingerprint there.
I'm more than happy to indulge you on this kind of thing.
At very least, you got someone to blame.
Yeah, so, exactly. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll save going inside the gift shop for afterwards, like you would kind of go in after you've had a little look around.
Yeah, by all means.
So this is another excellent thing, and this is obviously quite a small detail, relatively speaking, but I really like this little coin-operated machine here for the turnstiles.
Thank you. Yeah, to be honest, this was a bit of an afterthought as to thinking, how are you going to manage people going in and out? And for the sake of pieces, I think this is probably a total of maybe 7 all in. And it's just a breakdown of... Yeah, it's just like connectors and pieces that go small enough to allow you to build shapes with them. The idea is that this is going to link in maybe through the ground to the system.
I love it. Maybe they give you a little coin inside when you pay for entry, and then you come and put that in here. A little cactus coin.
Cactus coin, you've coined it.
So we come through here, and obviously the main event is the world's largest cactus, which is absolutely stunning.
It really looks great in the lighting, and kind of I love it. I don't know what else I can say.
Well, I'm going to say I'm a huge fan of this gravel that you've got here, which is made out of the little apple pieces. And then, as you're saying, sort of in this little kind of surrounding area, we've got this little kind of cactus garden for which you've made a very nice little signage.
I had a lot of fun with this, kind of looking up and trying to work out which cactuses were represented in game, to the point that it was a specific variety of torch aloe, and off the back of that you find out scientific names and a bit more about the plants, and at the base of that is something harking back to Janky geekism. These are linked into the store, so people will come in here and hopefully interact with the balloon display.
Oh, it's the balloon display. What is that? I don't recognise that.
The hope is that it will make it interactable, and one of the best things that Frontier have done with the gift shop things is you can make the products invisible, so you can put your own ones on. We'll come back to that a little bit later. But there should be balloons there.
So is there an actual path running underneath here as well?
Yes, invisible path.
Okay, well I guess this is a good time then to talk about what you've done here with the whole kind of pathing system.
With the fake path. Yeah,
so if I come down here to try and... What I'll do is I'll just come underneath and you can kind of see what's going on.
Go.
Which is that the whole thing is like an upside down train track, basically.
Yes. So I play with a few mods that kind of adds a bit more functionality, no track limits, and some of the switch track mods available in some of the Discords. And the no track limits allows you to kind of further break the extended limits to make sections shorter. It's used quite a lot by realism coaster creators to kind of break the bounds of what they're limited to in that. It's really good for tracker texture.
Yeah.
So this is the kids train ride, which is in the tracked rides, and the underside of that is a really nice concrete texture.
Yeah, so, it is a really nice texture. I wish we had just like a normal piece with this this texture on it.
I do like the texture of this particular ride, and you can do other creative things of like using other rides as fences, and I think it's just surprising.
It solves for like I was going to say a massive issue. I don't know if it's a massive issue, but we all know that it's like really tedious to build curbs and fences, especially with nice curvy shapes to them.
Very much so, yeah.
When you can just use a track like this, which has a really nice like spline editor, and it just makes the whole thing really simple, and like you say, it's got a nice texture. It looks really good.
Yeah,
it's just like, why?
The two benefits here is that there's no Z fighting because it's just one piece. It's just moving along a path which is a bit abnormal because of the extra limits. And if you find that you have to kind of change the path after the fact and kind of increase or decrease the radius or have it go a little bit elsewhere, you don't have to worry about kind of moving piece by piece. You can just move the spline.
Yeah. And then, around the back here, just to cap it off, there's a nice little kind of shaded picnic area.
Yeah.
For you to eat your packed lunch and look at the big cactus.
Yep, come here for the field trip, and I think just kind of getting a place for people to kind of congregate with shade is the main focus on this bit.
It's lovely. So then, I still can't get over the fact that you've put invisible path underneath here. I didn't realise you'd done that. This is so good. It's going to look amazing once there's people walking around it.
People got to buy those balloons and read those signs, man. Unfortunately, you're going to have to jump and take a look over the fence because there is no path
through this little gap here.
Yep, I had to include your chairs, man. They're just too good.
Yeah, I mean, this is like perfect for this kind of thing.
It feels odd to use someone's blueprint in their own park, but here we are.
Sure.
There were a few other bits off workshop, some gardening pieces I think by Patman, and the main focus of this area was to kind of build this kind of storage area, the Halloween stuff and the extra parasols, just to kind of give a bit more kind of lived in experience. That is just an umbrella scaled up.
Oh, that's what I was literally just thinking, like, what is that he's used for that?
That's a big umbrella.
It's just an umbrella. I love the idea that they're just storing all this Halloween stuff that they're going to kind of wheel out in October or whatever, and then it just gets chucked back here again afterwards.
Yeah, and they've got a few extra bits of pottery and storage just on the near side, and a back gate which does connect up.
Yeah, leads back into the scruffy sand leading around here to the back door. Yeah, it's very nice.
Really happy with it.
Okay, so...
Okay.
After you've seen all of the lovely cactuses, obviously you want to come to the gift shop and...
You gotta get some swag, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta come get your cactus swag. So even just in this room alone, there's so many good things to look at. I'm going to start by just saying I love that you've put it so that some of the drop ceiling tiles have fallen out. They've been put by the door here, yeah.
Again, nothing's perfect. And
yeah, I love it.
I'll admit, I stole these from your really nice diner.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I think it works really nicely.
This probably is like walking through someone's house and realising half of the stuff that is yours that is missing is in their house.
Well, hang on, I recognise this drop ceiling.
Wait, I thought that was mine. Something that isn't yours but is now yours is this succulent table. So
yeah,
I will say they definitely be selling cactuses.
Oh so yeah, absolutely.
I put together like a colorway and a various bit of sets that could kind of mash together and made a bunch of cactuses and just a bunch of cacti, sorry. I can see the comments already.
Yeah, they're going to be absolutely gunning for you, mate. It almost looks too tasteful in some ways. Not that I'm complaining.
I was going to say, maybe I've done too good a job here.
It looks lovely. I'm like, oh yeah. Lovely little succulent table. It's delightful. Yeah, smashed it. And I noticed that you left a big kind of selection of them over here in different kind of colours and combinations.
Exactly that, yeah. If people want, these can go on Workshop, but they're simple to kind of do. A lot of them are art shapes, and it's just, if it saves you people time, then that's great.
Yeah, lovely stuff.
The idea is that these can just be once more dotted around if you want to put them in various places and kind of get even for all the bits I've stolen off of you.
I may well do that. Don't worry about that. So what else have we got? There's so much stuff to look at.
Okay.
I love these giant cactus pencils that you've made and put everywhere.
My mind was kind of thinking it's that kind of souvenir tat that has actually less functionality because of the changes they've made to it. It's probably more unwieldy with those cactus arms to actually write, and let alone the added size to it.
You have to hold it with two hands.
Oh, yeah. It's a chore to write.
Yeah.
And the cactus lamps were just, again, just kind of, if it's green, it's cactus. It's just kind of filling a bit of space here and there.
I love how you've kind of shoved them into the side of the box here to for the packaging there.
It's almost to kind of look like a rendition of the product.
Yeah, a picture
inside,
of the thing on the side of the box. Yeah, it's great. And obviously we've got the kind of Mr. Cactus plushie, or I don't know does he have a name?
Not really. It's up to you.
Okay. Look, we're just going to call him Mr. Cactus for the sake of simplicity.
Christened and dubbed Mr. Cactus. Let's do it.
Yeah. And I like this one's got a little hat on up here.
Again, nothing being perfect. Like, some people would take accessories and leave them in places, and I want this one with a hat. No, let's put him back all the way up on the top shelf. And speaking of accessories, yeah, a lot of fun was had with
yeah, I was loving these. We've just got all these silly names.
I think
plays on members of the community.
I run this past you. The bottom left on the inside there is bought, which is the whole kind of origin of this joke. Where
the Simpsons.
Simpsons, where it's like, who's going to be named Bort? And then someone shows up named Bort.
Yeah.
So
is that the Itchy and Scratchy Land episode?
I think so, yeah.
I feel like it is, but I may be imagining that. Anyway.
So it's just a homage to like a lot of names that are familiar to me, familiar to other people in the community, but just slightly wrong.
I really like Mike Sheet. That's just a singular sheet.
Mike Sheet, nice, good. Moo Man.
Moo Man. Silver Rat is also good.
Yep. Taggy 2D, just, yeah.
Taggy spelt wrong and then 2D. Yeah. It's very good.
A lot of this is just kind of, you know, it's nice to kind of have a little bit of acknowledgement here and there, so yeah. Very
nicely done. And then what else have we got? We've got these little guys here that have got the signature fog shades on.
Oh yeah,
and the cool one of them has fallen.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Absolutely tragic.
Yeah, it's a break it, you buy it kind of situation. But these were actually the first ones that I put together. It's just a bit of guttering and like a lot of kind of coaster shapes to piece something together. And
yeah, this coaster support connector piece is like so good. I'm sure I've talked about it a bunch before, but it's so good.
It's so versatile. Generally, a lot of those that they added in the later updates that can go that small have proven so useful for various applications.
Absolutely. And then I also love that you've made these custom t-shirts.
Yeah, so these are a lot of text layers, and I do like to do things vanilla and in-game, and this was just kind of an extension on that.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. And then of course in the corner here we've got the little blue screen photograph area where I mean, what are you imagining that they're having placed in the background on this blue screen photo thing?
Maybe Empire State Building. No.
with a giant cactus next to the Empire State Building.
Yeah, cactus to scale kind of thing. It's that kind of. It's that kind of area though, like your tourist trap of getting on a blue screen and getting this somewhat artificial picture that you could have taken in real life. That kind of filled the space in the back of the shop here and just gave a bit more kind of a storytelling ability.
Yeah, I love it. And I love this little stand here where he's holding up a get your photo. And we've got this little kind of computer console for the staff member who's sorting it all out. It's great stuff. And the blue curtain as well, it's all there. This is a really simple thing that I really liked, is that you've used these Viva La Vegan billboards, and you've just like hidden the actual Viva La Vegan logo, and you're just using the pattern as this kind of feature wall here, and it just looks really good.
It's just finding like extra texture and extra functionality of pieces that we have. I've seen a few other people. There's I forget the name of it, but the science park that came out recently. They were doing a similar thing where they were using, I think, some of the other brands, and again just displaying like a blank section. So finding those extra hidden textures or those extra hidden sound effects in items is really fun to me, and this is a great demonstration of that. Yeah,
it's beautiful stuff. Okay, well, I think that pretty much covers all of this. Am I correct, or is there more stuff?
I believe so. There's a bit more space in the surrounding area for some of the other things that we discussed, and excited to see what comes of that.
Well, it's beautiful stuff, and you've absolutely smashed it, basically, my friend.
Love it. It's been really fun to kind of leave my mark on this project, and I will acknowledge the challenge that I gave you when it came to the go-karts, and
yeah, well, I'll go into these go-karts a little bit in a minute, but it wasn't too bad. I think it's quite a cool like interaction that you've got here on the corner with this kind of little scrub, this little like raised dirt area here with some scrubby bush on it.
Yeah, as long as no go-karts are going to be coming towards the cactuses, I'm all good.
Well, actually, I should say that you left me this nice bit of track architecture here to use on the go-kart track.
A little bit of a nudge, just to say you could do this.
You could use this if you wanted to, and I thought, well, obviously, I'm absolutely going to do that.
And I'm really glad you did. It looks really good.
So yeah, we've got it in a few spots, and it looks absolutely awesome. I do love the idea that you might just be like sitting here eating your lunch, and there's like a little noisy go-kart engine buzzing past every few minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah. The smell of diesel or whatever it is they power them with just wafting into the air.
Doesn't need to be perfect. That's the main thing.
As you're getting blasted with the California sun. Good times. Okay, well, once again, mate, thank you very much. You've absolutely smashed it. I'm so happy with what you've done. And and look at that timing.
Perfect timing.
We've got the little car here that you've... this is the car from the workshop, right?
This was the one from the save file that you've used previously, and again, just a cheeky self-insert with the missing Mr. Cactus.
Yeah. And it drives past like every few minutes along the road here.
And I think that will beam me off into the sunset, won't it?
Yeah, it will. So, Fog, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, man. Great fun.
Anytime, you're always welcome. And I will catch you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
I couldn't not, mate.
Okay, it's now several days later. Thank you once again to Fog for all of his excellent work on Cactus Land. And yeah, I'm just going to show you the rest of what I've been up to since the last episode, and in the last few days since I recorded with Fog. I've pretty much finished the go-karts area. My intention is to keep sort of tinkering with especially the sort of infrastructure side of things for all of these kind of roadside bits, but I've done most of what I wanted to do broadly. So it's called the Palm Avenue Speedway, or Palm Ave Speedway. Karting and more. I did put karting and more on the sign, but to be honest, there is no more. Maybe there was more at some point in time, but now it's just karts. And we've got this little kind of reception building here. They've got a desk in there where you'd sort of sign up and pay, and changing rooms for you to get changed into your karting onesie. I can't remember the name for all those like bodysuits that motorcycle people. Sorry, this balloon is squeaking in my ear. Anyway, yeah, we've got the Speedway sign, trying to kind of continue the spirit of what Fog was saying about, things not being perfect. You can see that the middle dash from the second E has fallen into the bush below the sign here. And yeah, coming over here on this kind of plaza outside, we've got this amazing taco truck, which is made by Tacodog. I will be sure to leave a link to that in the description. He's also got a burger truck and possibly another one. There might even be one that's like unthemed for you to put your own stuff on. But yeah, I think this is awesome and works perfectly here. And then as for the actual carts themselves, I didn't want to build a queue because in my mind this isn't a ride in a theme park. This is an actual go-kart track. So you would sort of come into the building here, pay for your group or whatever, you get changed, and then they bring you out here, and when it's your turn, you know, you get let onto the track here to jump in your cart. And then yeah, for the actual track, it's pretty straightforward really. I took inspiration for this layout from, I just googled like go-kart tracks and looked at a bunch of go-kart track layouts because I wanted it to feel semi-realistic as a track layout. But yeah, you know, it's your general sort of lots of turns, couple of straights. You got a nice long straight through the final stretch here back towards the kind of finish line here, and I thought it would be fun to have some kind of bleacher style seating, you know, random strangers or friends and family who want to sit and watch everything that's going on. This might be too much seating, but it looks fun having it out in the sun here. As for the rest of it, it's all pretty straightforward stuff really. As I mentioned in the last section, we've got these cool barriers from Fog, which are made of, it's one of the rotating coaster rides. This is if I lift it up here, you can see the kind of the groove in the track in the middle there. And then on some of the other corners, I made these kind of tire walls where some of the tires have been painted yellow to create kind of arrows pointing you in the right direction. And yeah, not a lot else to say about the go-karts really. They kind of are what they are. I didn't go absolutely crazy on detailing and stuff because it's outside the park. It's just kind of there for vibes really. One thing I will say is that we don't have any barrels in the game at the moment, so I made these barrels. They are really simply just like art shapes and coaster supports, and they are absolutely doing the job. And then I built this little maintenance area here, just slapped this together pretty quickly. Again, these are the amazing Captain Trash Panda workshop items, and this really cool portable kind of maintenance light jobby, which is also from the workshop. I think it's made by PSVisionGaming. I'm really sorry if I've got that name wrong off the top of my head. Again, there'll be a link in the description to it. But yeah, this is a really nicely made blueprint. Very realistic. Lots of detail. Love it. So yeah, that's the go-karts. Like I said, pretty chuffed with how it's come out. It's very simple, very straightforward stuff. And then coming over here, the other major addition to the park this week is the Oasis Plunge log flume. And this was a bit of trial and tribulation getting this sorted because initially I built the entire log flume using the wrong log flume type. I thought I was building using the new kind of antique log flume that we didn't have in the first game, but I was actually just using the normal classic log flume, which is absolutely huge. The logs are huge, the trough is huge, the minimum turning radius is huge. So I had to rebuild the whole thing again using this antique one, which has its own set of kind of peculiarities. I ended up in fact using the no track limits mod because it allows you to do things like on this corner here, these two turns are the same kind of length and radius, and then I can join them with this tiny little straight piece in the middle. But yeah, pretty chuffed with how this came out. This is kind of, there aren't that many of this actual flume type in real life. The most notable one I think is at the Enchanted Forest, which I think is in Washington State. It's like one of the few parks in the Pacific Northwest, and it has a much more kind of organic layout than this. I really wanted to give this the kind of classic traveling flume layout where it's kind of, you know, up and around and down, and then around, up and down again. So I didn't really take much influence in terms of the layout from any real life kind of counterpart for this exact flume type, but yeah, the station building was just trying to kind of continue the sort of mid-century vibe in this sort of roof structure with these long beams and the kind of overhang with a sort of relatively shallow roof pitch. And then on the inside of the station, I really wanted to do, I was looking at the flume at Waldemere, and I really like the way that it has the kind of spare logs on the side in the station, and then they have these kind of signs telling you where to get off the logs. Obviously it doesn't work like this in game because the game for some reason puts the exit in front of where you get on, which doesn't really make any sense. But you know, we're just going to imagine that none of these gates are here and that people are getting off the logs here and then people are getting on the logs here, and it's all kind of seamless. But yeah, as I say, I was heavily inspired by the Waldemere flume, so I've used the no track limits mod to set up a second log flume here, which as you can see from the outline, I used this box to hide the fact that it sort of immediately vertically drops down underground here, and then this is just the kind of the logs waiting to get into the station for that other ride, and that allows us to have these kind of storage logs here. And then we've got this kind of motorized movable lift system here, which would be able to take these logs and add them into the ride system as and when they're needed. Yeah, and then as for the rest of the actual ride, I had a lot of fun, as you can see, creating some custom catwalks and signage for the upper parts of the flume here. We've got the little booth up at the top for somebody to be sitting by the drop just in case. We've got a bit of a sort of pump and filtration system going here. I thought it would be kind of fun and janky if the main part of the flume here was sort of sitting above a kind of concrete pool of murky water. It's clear that the filtration system has seen better days, and we've got quite a bit of algae build-up. Obviously that is not reflected in the flume water itself, but yeah, and then that's all sort of feeding back into this area under this kind of concrete pad here, where there would be sort of a pump and filtration system. And then we've got various pipes kind of piping the water into the upper parts of the flume and into the lower part of the flume here. Yeah, it's all pretty simple log flumey stuff. As you can see, I haven't finished the surrounding area at all. There's probably going to be some kind of, maybe another small midway or food stand in this little space here. And then for the rest of the park, we've obviously got the tilt-a-whirl here, and there's going to be a little drop tower and Kinderley's Hopkins coaster. But yeah, I think the rest of this area is probably going to just be made up of midway and maybe one other flat. I haven't decided yet, to be honest. We're kind of running out of really good options for the sorts of flat ride that would realistically be in this park. So yeah, haven't figured that out yet. Just quickly before we go, one last thing which you may have noticed is I've started kind of filling out the outskirts of the park here with just some sort of, I made some custom scenery brushes for just doing sort of desert bush. I'm just using that to fill out the background in a very kind of slapdash low detail way. I'm pretty pleased with the effect, and obviously I will remove and add to this as and where necessary once I've decided exactly where the outer park border is going to be. Haven't figured that out completely yet. Yeah, I think that is about it for this week's episode. As always, thank you so much for the love and support on the series. Thank you once again to Fog for his amazing work. And yeah, next episode, I'm not entirely sure, so that's fun. I will say it's quite likely that we'll be getting another episode of Jardin Magique soon, because at the time of recording this, the new Sorcery DLC is coming out in a few days, and it basically looks like it's going to be full of stuff that's going to be really useful in that project, and I've been getting very excited about getting back in there to do some more building. Not that I haven't been building there at all, but all the stuff in that project is kind of, it just takes a lot of time, and there are kind of multiple ongoing little projects in there. Yeah, it's just a much slower building process than this park. This park's much smaller. The structures in general are much quicker and easier to build. Yeah, anyway, that's what's coming up. As I said, thank you so much for all the love and support, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!